Hello, Chuckabutties. Have you got a beam in your eye when I and my friends have only got a little mote in ours? Hello, Chuckabutties. Welcome. Thank you for joining me in WA, Nigel Cecil. Now, that last video of ours, Hilary, we did say that following the topic of equity and their current ongoing campaign, possibly reaching the High Court against Spotlight, the home of casting, with the slogan of equity, a tax on hope, may just have unintended consequences. And given our usual, not record-breaking number of viewers to our videos, we were surprised once again by the number of reactions, which are disproportionately high compared with the number of views the videos are getting. So what's going on? Is the word about unintended consequences spreading? So we thought we'd consider some of the issues that you'd raised and ask moi to respond on your behalf and put your comments into the public domain. A tax on hope. The first thing we thought, well, let's start from the beginning and see where we are today by Googling a tax on hope. Look at what came up. Mentions of Spotlight and equity. It does look as though there may be some unintended consequences with the issues when you look at that Google return. One of you got in touch and said, Nigel, when you discuss these things, could you bear in mind that saying? You've got a mote in your eye, but I've got a beam in mine, so I'll call you out. How does that apply? Well, out of all the topics, we thought we'd begin with one which really affects everyone. Lucre, money in our pockets. There's a cost of living crisis. And when it comes to unintended consequences and a tax on hope, some of you said, well, isn't equity, couldn't it really be considered a tax on hope? Because in the last video we mentioned that in any one time, some 80% of the equity membership are out of work looking for work. And indeed, when we turn the clock back many, many years, who cares about history, Hilary? But if you don't know where you've been and where you're going and where you arrived, having started where you began all those years ago, yes, what's it all about? The Boyd and Southwood report, over 20 odd years ago, looked at equity and its structure and its funding and what it should be providing for members. But if you don't want to learn lessons because it doesn't fit in with your agenda, just forget it. But if you do look back, one of the things it highlighted, given that many members are out of work looking for work, was its funding structure. The subscriptions. I mean, just think about it. What other trade union actually takes money off the unemployed to fund their trade union? But that's what equity does. The staff all get their wages regardless. But surely no one must ever forget that at any one time, 80% or more of the membership are out of work looking for work. Indeed, equity subs, when you consider that fact, could well be a tax on hope. We're hoping for the phone to ring. We're hoping, yes, I know, whatever. The next gig is just around the corner, hopefully. But look at the funding structure, the subscriptions. Other trade unions give discounts. One trade union, indeed, actually says if you're out of work looking for work, well, it's free for a year. But equity's minimum subs level starts at £44,000 a year. That's twice the minimum wage. Somebody working on a 5-day week, 40 hours a week. Who does that within equity? £168 annual subs, out of work looking for work. Is that reasonable? Is it a fair tax on hope? Or should the funding structure within equity now be reviewed? I mean, we are in a cost of living crisis. And of course, we join equity. Come on, as we said, phone ring, please. Chakabatis, remember the saying, remember the question. Who has the beam in their eye and who has the mote? Is equity now providing subscriptions, a model for equity members, those who are out of work, looking for work, a fair deal in this cost of living crisis? Or is our expectation of we're going to get that gig that will make us all famous, are the equity subscriptions now a tax on hope? Please keep your comments coming in and we'll reflect the questions on your behalf. Thank you for watching, and hopefully all your hopeful dreams will happen. They'll come into fruition for you